When it comes to building lots of muscle, motivation isn't going to get you there, not even close. Muscle growth happens from working out consistently, hard and smart, and eating a diet that is supportive of muscle growth. And when I say doing it consistently, I don't mean doing it off and on between weeks, months, and years. I mean consistently as in working out at least 3 times a week, if not more, and eating a diet that's supportive of muscle growth most of the time for many consecutive months and years. Here's why relying on motivation isn't going to get you there. After accomplishing your newbie gains, muscle growth happens relatively slowly for most people. That means you'll be working out hard and eating well day after day after day with only seeing small amounts of progress at a time. Motivation is fleeting, so on the days where it's absent, how can you expect to stay consistent if you're only seeing very small amounts of progress from all of the hard work and energy that you're putting into it? If you're relying on motivation to get you there, it's probably not going to get you very far, since sometimes it's going to be there and sometimes it just isn't. And honestly, from my experience, a lot of the time it isn't. Here's the good news. You don't need motivation to stay consistent and build tons of muscle. I'm going to share with you 4 guiding tips that you can rely on for that I've learned over my own experience building muscle and from what I've seen has worked for my most successful clients over the years. Let's dive in. Guiding tip number 1, commitment, not motivation. Commitment is king for muscle growth success. Something I can say from having worked with many one-on-one clients over the years is that having 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the process just never leads to great results. And from what I've seen, a lack of commitment might just be the leading cause for most people's lack of muscle growth success. Imagine all of the times where life leaves you feeling stressed, tired, cloudy, or unmotivated. From what I've seen, people who just aren't fully committed and who have 1 foot in, 1 foot out tend to skip training sessions or eat junk or order takeout that isn't in alignment with their muscle growth goals when life does start to get a little bit tough. And if that's a regular pattern of behavior, the inconsistency of training and proper eating just isn't likely to lead to notable muscle growth progress. Going all in and staying committed to building muscle means sticking with the process regardless of how you're feeling. This does mean embracing a more robotic and automated approach. But from what I've experienced myself and what I've seen from my most successful clients, it's the approach that leads to guaranteed results. Guiding tip number 2 is to know your why. Committing to accomplishing muscle growth will ensure that you stick with the process, but knowing your why will help to empower and drive you. Speaking for myself, sometimes being able to recognize and articulate exactly what your why isn't always easy. And it's entirely possible that your why might change or evolve over time too. I'll try to articulate my why for you. Although I wasn't super overweight, as a young kid, I was self-conscious about my appearance and wanted to look more like a superhero. In retrospect, it makes perfect psychological sense to me. Superheroes are what most of us can probably agree are what our ideal is. So, in a large sense, I wanted to work towards becoming just that, my ideal. As I successfully built muscle over time and learned how to tighten and tone my physique through accomplishing fat loss, my why did start to evolve. Now, I feel compelled to reach what I believe my potential is, to become a top-tier natural bodybuilder. Of course, your why is probably different than mine. Thinking of some of my most successful clients, here are a few other examples that come to mind. Developing a strong, muscular physique to have a physical presence that's reflective of being a leader. Having a desire to look and feel strong and capable for your wife and kids. Or similarly to me, just feeling compelled to reach your physical and mental potential or ideal. Again, being able to recognize and articulate exactly what your why is might be tough, but I really think it's worth taking the time to think that through. After all, if you don't have a strong reason for doing it, committing to the difficult process of building lots of muscle might just not seem worth the time and energy for you. Guiding tip number 3 is to allow yourself to celebrate making small incremental steps of progress. A reasonable expectation to adopt on the muscle growth journey is that building slabs and slabs of muscle over a short period of time probably isn't going to happen for most people.
What?
You do, however, have the potential to make regular, yet smaller, incremental steps of ongoing progress. I'm talking about noticing slight changes in the mirror over weeks and months, noticing and feeling your clothes slowly start to fit better, seeing a new vein on your arm or shoulder, making incremental strength and performance improvements in the gym, or even just noticing your mood and energy improving. Speaking for myself, this stuff really helps me and leaves me feeling ongoing satisfaction and even enjoyment from the process. Facing the challenge of hard working sets to hit new PRs is a great feeling, and slowly seeing changes in the mirror over many months is rewarding as heck for me. Allowing yourself to celebrate making this kind of progress might take a bit of a mindset shift, specifically involving a change of expectations. If you expect that the rate in which you build muscle will be slow, there won't be anything to leave you feeling disappointed. Instead, you can open yourself up to the possibility of enjoying the small incremental steps of progress that you make along the way. And lastly, guiding tip number 4 is this. Building lots of muscle isn't for everyone, and that's okay. If I were to say something like, everyone has the potential to become a virtuoso musician, what would you think? That's simply not true, right? Not everyone has the drive, natural proclivity, or strong reason for why they want to become a virtuoso musician. But that's completely okay. I use that example because that's the reason why I ended up not taking my path as a musician further than what I did. My why ultimately wasn't strong enough. I think the same principle holds true with building lots of muscle. While I do believe that everyone has the potential to build a strong foundational base of muscle to promote their overall health and longevity, having a strong why and drive to build a seriously significant amount of muscle is not something that everyone has. And again, that's okay. If you're here though, then there's a good chance that you got it. And that being so, by implementing the first 3 guiding tips, you'll undeniably be on the path to building tons of muscle. And that's it. When it comes to making a significant amount of muscle growth progress, though it's nice to have, motivation doesn't need nor should be part of the equation. By being committed to the process, having a strong reason why, and being open to celebrating the small incremental steps of progress along the way, then building tons of muscle will be inevitable for you. If you enjoyed or found this video to be helpful, let me know by dropping in a comment and giving it a like. Now that we're at the end, I would watch this video. In it, I share 4 of the biggest practical workout mistakes that natural lifters make at the gym, which often results in a frustrating lack of muscle growth progress. But of course, I also share how to fix those mistakes and what to do instead. I'll see you there.